Let's go, everybody. Welcome back to Wrestle Relaunch. We're going to be talking about Ric Flair's last match. Not just the match, the entire card. We did our whole card preview. Now it's time for the review. Let's get it. Spongy, what you got?
Well, you didn't watch the whole show, did you? Right?
I did not. I was not home. I was not able to watch the show. I caught up on highlights, and boy, did I like what I saw.
Well, I was minding my own business watching some random ass channel, and then I look on YouTube, and all of a sudden, the Bunkhouse Battle Royale is live on the Ric Flair's last match pre-show. But before we get into the match, the thing,
That part I got to see. That part I got to see. I got to see the Punk House Battle Royal.
the Bunkhouse Battle Royale, yeah, I put for some reason everyone Bunkhouse Battle Royale. Fucking. Then the Bunkhouse Battle Royale was the pre-show, and before the pre-show, you had Shivani and I forgot his name. Who was with Shivani in the commentary?
I don't remember.
But Shivani just sucks at commentary and he's annoying. I just gotta say that. Like
Oh, come on. He wasn't that bad.
I know he's horrible in AEW. He's horrible in
Yeah.
AEW. But I
But he's
know
gr-
for
but he was
nostalgia,
great everywhere else. Come
yeah,
on.
for nostalgia, but for this show, just like the AEW scars are on me. So for Shivani, and he just gets annoying and he, I don't know, but I love Shivani, but I don't know, I'm just annoyed with him. Um, well, we had the Bunkhouse Battle Royale. You had. Do you remember the contestants in it? Only know like a
Well,
couple.
you skipped over Ren Narita and Yuya Uemura.
What do you mean? Oh, that from the. Are you talking about the match card?
The NJPW Young Lions match.
Yeah,
The uh the
I
first
no,
the first match on the pre-show.
that was the first. Oh, that was the first match. That was on the pre-show.
Yeah.
No wonder I didn't see. I thought it was in the main card. Yeah. Well, I didn't watch that. Did you watch that?
I did not. I did not get to see it. From what I hear, it didn't go on too long, so.
From what I hear, I didn't even know about it. Like I didn't even know when this event started. I thought it started at 5 o'clock, and if I didn't look on YouTube, I would have missed this entire pay-per-view.
Nah, it was just Ren Narita. He won with a bridge belly to belly suplex, which was dope.
Yep.
So I was like, all right, I'm good with it.
And then you had a bunch of I guess during that New Japan Young Lions match, Shivani hyped the promo from Ric Flair, and then Jay Lethal came on stage, did his Flair impression. And this is on the pre-show. And then you had Frank the Clown, who stole the microphone
Frank the
and
Clown. I swear to God,
stormed the ring to insult Flair. Jacob
homeboy needs to
Fatu
go away.
Jacob Fatu came in and shut him up. Frank backed away down the aisle into Mick Foley after a handshake. Foley escorted Frank back into the ring. Fatu pounced for a super kick and running hip check in the corner to leave Frank lying. And then you had Dixie Carter, Nick Aldis, JBL, Stratus, Kurt Angle, and for the good of law, the fucking good Lord, Jesus Christ, they played Cody Rhodes' like well wishes a total of like 6 times back to back, and that was getting
Wrestling
annoying.
has more than one royal family.
And then we have the Bunkhouse Battle Royale. The winner was Mance Warner. He threw out Bully Ray. It was cool to see Bully Ray do the the table thing, the cable spot. You had James Storm in there. You had Big Damo. You had Gringo Loco in there. I don't know why Joey Janela was there, but that was stupid. James Storm was there. I don't like GCW because there's too much. I think you like. Do you like GCW?
I do, and by the way, you will put respect on Mance Warner's name. That man is the Southern Psycho, Mance Warner.
I don't know him. Nick Cage crashed the match, locking eyes with Bully Ray. A bunch of GCW wrestlers invaded the Battle Royale, putting the name out there. They were using the Ric Flair. They were using this entire show to promote GCW. That like front area to put their name out there. Down the stretch, Bully Ray went on a run, tossing out GCW crew in and out. No, not in and out, just out. The
You had, and I'll run down this list really quick, because there are some people that listen to us that know this, that know some of these names. Uh, Obviously, Bully Ray, Joey Janela, James Storm, Blake Christian, Ricky Shane Page, Jordan Oliver, Manders, Matthew Justice, Effie, Crowbar, Sin Bodie, Wolfie D, some dude, Commander, Gringo Loco, Crimson, Big Damo, and Cal Hero, along with Mance Warner.
And the only reason I told you, I don't know if you remember, I DM'd you, I said this match is shit. The only reason I said that shit is when I saw Nick Cage come out, and you know I don't like Nick Cage.
Yeah, I mean, nobody really likes the frickin' the deathmatch shit.
Like I don't fuck with it. Like Lights Out AEW, that shit. I don't like AEW, but Kenny Omega and fucking who was it? John Moxley. They did a good match in a fucking. That was good compared to whatever fucking Nick Cage does. Fucking you had Hero was eliminated by. I really wanted James Storm to win this, honestly, but
I mean, he came close.
he came close. He was the last.
I'm pissed. It was the final four. It was James Storm, Joey Janela, Bully Ray, and
Mance
the
Warner.
Southern Psycho, Mance Warner. Like, that was a decent final four. Like, I'm surprised that James Storm got thrown out before Joey Janela, but I keep forgetting they got thrown out basically at the same time, just bringing it down to Mance Warner and Bully Ray.
Yep. I'll go down the list
Like,
of the 18 eliminations. Cal Hero was eliminated by James Storm. Big Damo was dumped out by a group. Crimson by second gear crew. Gringo Loco was thrown out by Commander. Commander eliminated himself from a shooting star press to the floor. Some dude was eliminated by Wolfie D. Wolfie D was eliminated by Joey Janela. Sin Bodie by Joey Janela. Crowbar was eliminated by Effie. Effie by Bully Ray. Matthew Justice by Bully Ray. Manners by Bully Ray. Jordan Oliver by Bully Ray. Ricky Shane Page by Bully Ray. Blake Christian by Bully Ray. James Storm was eliminated by the winner, Mance Warner. Joey Janela by Bully Ray. And Bully Ray was thrown out by Mance Warner. And the winner of the Bunkhouse Battle Royale was Mance Warner.
say it right. Say it right.
Mance Warner. The Southern.
The
The
Southern Psycho,
Mance
Mance
Warner. There
Warner.
you go.
Let's go.
And
And what did he do after he won?
he
He walked right up to the
to the
announce
announcer's
table
table.
to Tony Schiavone and he chugged a beer. Let's go.
Yup. And then, yep, that was that match. Now when you told me the difference between a Battle Royale and a Bunkhouse Battle Royale, I enjoyed it better than a normal Battle Royale, honestly. It entertained me later on. It got me to watch it. I was cleaning my office while watching this match. You know, it was a great warmer upper. And then we had more, which Shivani kept saying more great messages for Ric Flair from celebrities. I
Well,
don't know.
this was the best bunch. This was the best bunch by far after that match was over. Like, this was the best bunch of well wishes and like thankful messages from these
It was.
people. All former great
But
rivalries with.
I don't like how Shivani kept marking them as celebrities. He should say wrestling legends.
No, I mean these were literally some of the greatest rivalries that Flair's ever had.
That is great. Jim Ross also was there to not there, but you know, made of a little.
Like, Sting's message was great. Like, Sting's message was absolutely great.
Yeah, especially when he said
Uh,
that he was grateful for Flair putting him on the map. That was a good one.
for all of us back then who saw the end of the Attitude Era, the start of the Invasion angle, like right before the Ruthless Aggression era.
Yes.
Like, we all watched that last episode of Nitro just to see how it was going to happen, like to see what was going to go down. Like, and the final match in the history of WCW was Sting versus Ric Flair, and I was so good with it.
It was the first WCW match and the last WCW match, correct?
Shit was dope.
And then moving forward to the pay-per-view, Bob Caudle opened the pay-per-view, welcoming us to this Jim Crockett Promotions pay-per-view, brought to you by Jim Crockett Promotions. Then
Scott D'Amore
yeah,
joined
Scott
the
D'Amore,
commentary. That was good.
yes. And then you had tag team
The
dream.
open the opening match that I told Sponge that he was going to finally see decent and great tag team wrestling. You're going to understand the difference between the Cucamonga Kids, the DUI Usos, and
Don't.
actual tag team wrestling. Like if you like FTR, you're going to like every tag team match on this card.
And I fucking enjoyed this match. I sat on my chair, blasted this shit. The fucking Motor City Machine Guns versus the Wolves, and fucking holy shit.
So great. So great. Like this is how you're kicking off a pay-per-view celebrating the excellence of professional wrestling of one of the greatest legends in history. And you open up with a card that is so freaking good. You open with one of the best matches of the night.
So it says here to explain it to you because I barely remember anything because SummerSlam drained me out. The Wolves leaned heel, utilizing dirty tactics. They were close to victory when Edwards hit a backpack stunner on Sabin, and then Richards flew out in for a double stomp. Shelley shoved Edwards into the pile to break the pin. MCMG rallied with a cutter to Edwards. Rapid teamwork offense took out Richards. MCMG finished Edwards on a skull and bones neckbreaker diving splash combo. This match, I
Yeah, that skull and bones skull and bones combo. Holy shit! Classic MCMG. Let's go.
it was a great fucking match. I enjoyed this match. I give a star like a star. This match a fucking well. I love to rate out of 5 instead of 10. I know Vil does out of 10. I'll give it a 5. It was a great opener. 5 out of 5.
5 stars for you.
Yeah, 5 stars for me. For
I
bonus
definitely give it.
points.
I definitely gave it a 9 out of 10
Yeah. Then
because
next
it's so great.
Then next, you had a grudge match between Joe Dombrowski joined the commentary, and you had a grudge match between Killer Cross, who defeated Davey Boy Smith Jr. Scarlett Bordeaux was ringside to support Cross, and it was an MLW showcase match. Here's MLW putting their name here as well. Whew, what's it called? What? Hold on, sorry. The adrenaline pumped for the back and forth suplex train. The match progressed into a chess match on the mat. Cross suckered Smith into a roll up. When Smith kicked out, Cross exploded for violence. A Sato suplex led the way for a running forearm blow to the back of the head for a victory.
It's just so good. Like Killer Cross is being able to show himself off again to the world. Killer Cross needs to be out there. Scarlett needs to be at his side at all times. But it was so great to see Davey Boy Smith Jr. again. Like anybody that remembers him in WWE and his not very long run with the Hart Dynasty, D.H. Smith is so good.
Very
Like
great,
David
very
Hart Smith
talented.
is so good.
Wasn't he wrestling dark matches this year in WWE as well?
I wouldn't doubt it. Like they were at a shortage of people after they got rid of everybody.
And then you had Dolph Ziggler, Booker T, Shawn Michaels, Jake the Snake, Will Sasso, Doug Dillinger, and Lex Luger sent more positive cameos for the show. And Ian Riccaboni.
WWE showing face right there.
Yup, yup. Well, they were actually the WWE wrestlers weren't referenced as like the rest WWE names. They were referenced as their real IRL names instead.
What, like Dolph Ziggler and Booker T and Shawn Michaels? Like they told you everybody's real name?
Yeah, Dolph Ziggler was Nick Nemeth. I remember seeing it. They wasn't like Dolph Ziggler. It said Nick Nemeth and Booker T. Booker T was Booker T.
Yeah, because Booker T owns the rights to his own name.
Yeah.
Like WWE can't get mad at Booker T for using his own name.
Following forward, you had the Fatal 4-Way between Fatal 4-Way match with not Seattle's own Jonathan Gresham and Alan Angels, Seattle's hometown hero, not hero, but Nick Wayne and Konosuke Takeshita. That
Konosuke
match
Takeshita, yeah.
match was fucking good. Nick Wayne is my age. He's 17 years old. This kid can fucking work. I think you would like the match. Jonathan Gresham I watched this match. I didn't even take my eyes off of it. Alan Angels and Jonathan Gresham did really good in the match. They all four of these men did good in the match. I'm just gonna say that. I guess it started like in a tag way style. Like I was so confused. It started in a tag team style way. Two men legal with the lucha rules to get in the match. The finish erupted with activity. Angels hit a C4 to Nick Wayne. Angels attacked Gresham with a suicide dive on the outside and discussed a lariat in the inside. Takeshita ran over for a deadlift German suplex to Angels to break the cover. Gresham scored a rolling cutter to Takeshita. Gresham then hit a springboard moonsault to Wayne. Gresham continued his attack with a suicide dive to Angels inside the ring. Gresham and Angels traded roll-ups. Gresham prevailed on a bridging O'Connor roll with that win. Gresham earned a shot at the Progress World Championship. Nick, yeah, that's how that ended.
Yeah, I mean, like it's that's the way it should have gone. Jonathan Gresham, like right after dropping the ROH World Title, like if he's gonna go anywhere else, he's gonna immediately show up in the title picture because it's Jonathan Gresham. It's literally he's so good. He needs to be a champion everywhere he goes.
Nick Aldis joins commentary for a legacy match, and this was pretty cool. Brian Pillman and Brock Anderson, accompanied by Arn Anderson, they were representing the Four Horsemen. And then they had Ricky Morton and Kerry Morton, accompanied by Robert Gibson.
I don't I I don't know how they would be representing the Four Horsemen. Brian Pillman was never in the Four Horsemen.
Yeah, I know. That's what they announced. That's what they said. That one of the commentators said, and I was like, all right. Ricky Morton
What
and
is it?
Kerry.
What is it? The new Four Horsemen? Are you gonna get everybody's kids involved?
Yeah.
Everybody, watch out! David Flair is on the way.
Oh my. Ricky Morton and Kerry Morton, accompanied by Robert Gibson. Obviously,
Rock and Roll Express.
obviously. They were defeated by Brock and Brian. It was a hot tag to Ricky as the crowd popped loud. Ricky cleaned house until Brock picked up for a body slam. Kerry dropkicked Ricky to land on top of Anderson for a pin. Pillman made the save. Kerry ejected Pillman from the ring. The referee tried to restore order, getting Kerry to leave the ring. Oh shit, sorry. I forgot to rate the match before this and the match before that. Killer Cross and Davey Boy Smith, I'll give it a 4. And then the fatal four way, I'll give it
Well,
a.
you have to tell everybody if you're gonna go by the number system
Oh
up to
no,
5, you have
for
to
me,
tell them
for
that's
me,
stars, not out of 10.
yeah, for me, a 5 out of mine's up to 5. Keith's is up to 10, I believe, right? Keith, you go do that
Yeah,
10.
because I just go out of 10. I don't give it a star rating. I'm not Uncle Dave
I,
over
I
here.
don't give it a star. I give it out of 5. Like my rating goes up to 5. The fatal four way, I'll give it a 4.5.
I mean, the Fatal Four Way was good, but it wasn't better than Killer Cross and Davey Boy Smith.
You wouldn't?
I like Killer Cross and Davey Boy Smith showcasing their talents again. I've got Killer Cross and Davey Boy at 8.5, and I've got the Fatal Four Way with an 8.
An
Like
8.
I like the fact that Jonathan Gresham's still in a world title picture.
And then you had the back to the legacy match. Pillman, the referee, tried to restore order, getting Kerry to leave the ring. That served as a distraction for Pillman to take a cheap shot kick and an unsuspecting Ricky. Brock finished with a gourd buster to pin Ricky, and I will give this match from my rating 1 out of 5. It was a decent match. It was stiff, but it was good. It was a good stiff, not a bad stiff. I'll give it a 3. It was
Yeah, I'll go along the lines of that. I'll give it a I'll give it a 7.5.
7.5. Yeah, it was cool seeing Ricky Morton back in the ring. It's always nostalgic to see to showcase that. He wrestled better than Ric Flair. Joe Dombrowski returned to commentary, and we're here for the Triple A Attraction fucking match. And this match fucking rocked the fucking roof.
Yeah, I'm sure it did.
Like, this match fucking rocked the motherfucking roof. You had Ray Phoenix, Bandito, Laredo Kid, and Taurus in the fucking Fatal 4-Way. And this fucking match was not slow paced at all. This match had no pauses. This fucking match was just back to back to back. Like, this shit was fucking nuts. And this is what true luchador flippy dip shit that the Cucamonga kids can't do. This is real lucha right here. Not fucking bullshit from AEW. This shit was good. Like, fast paced lucha libre action with offense, with good offense to earn. This fucking match fucking crazy. And this shit was like fucking great. Like, this match was like out of this motherfucking world. Like, this shit was super fast paced. You had fucking this is awesome chance and fight forever chance. Phoenix and Phoenix things, huh? Laredo added high flying. Bandito was wild with a suicide dive. Code Red and flipping Fallaway slammed to the outside. Taurus was a bowl in a Charles was a bull in a china shop. Oops, excuse me, wrecking luchadores. In the end, Phoenix pinned Taurus on a fire driver.
Yo, the
And
fire driver is insane.
yeah, this match was fucking crazy. This is better than anything the Cucamonga kids have ever done in AEW.
AEW, yes.
And off,
I don't know. I don't know. Like the 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 Young Bucks in their last match with FTR was really good.
and that was it.
Like it
Never.
was really really good. And I don't really say very many nice things about the Cucamonga kids in AEW, but their last match with FTR was absolutely so great.
And that was it. Never ever again. Then we have Tom Hannafan, aka Tom Phillips, joins commentary for the Impact World Championship. This match was pretty great. Josh Alexander versus Jacob Fatu ends in a no contest. The only no contest of this night.
Well, I mean, well, let's jump into why it was a no contest. Like this match was going really really well. It was back and forth. Like Josh Alexander is great.
Yes.
Like you hear me talking all the time about how great Josh Alexander is. Like
Yes.
this man puts in so much work, so much training, so much like, physical workout. Like this guy is literally trying to perfect his trade craft, and I think he's one of the best professional wrestlers on the planet. So I'm glad Josh Alexander is a world champion somewhere. I'm not really glad that it's an Impact, but it's a start. But Jacob Fatu again,
Hold on.
another great guy.
Sorry. But his spots were fucking crazy. For a big man like
Of
that,
course they
did
were.
you see those like moonsault fucking jump like he did like a I don't know how to call it. He jumped off the top rope and bounced on the top rope and did like a moonsault on Josh Alexander.
Yeah,
That shit was fucking dope.
but it is as great as it was. I was kind of really pissed off to see it get interrupted.
Yeah,
Like,
and then I know you don't like the person that interrupted.
but for this event, it was a good interruption. Because Matt Cardona is taking over the independent circuit, so like you knew he was gonna show up at this pay per view, at least in one
And
spot.
then you had Brian Myers, who was gonna be in the Bunkhouse Battle Royale, but didn't even show up at it. And then he showed up here, and they were
Well, I
accompanied
mean,
by
Mark Sterling, yeah. But we did get to see a whole lot of fun because as they were trying to have their way with Josh Alexander and Jacob Fatu, self high five. DDP. Oh boy. From the crowd. Like WCW style DDP coming out from the people. Or as Jim Cornette would call it, the people. Boy, oh boy, that diamond cutter he put on Matt Cardona.
that shit was hilarious. Well, now we're in the locker room backstage after this. Oh wait, hold on. I forgot to rate the AAA attraction match. I'll give that
Yeah,
shit a
you gave it a 5.
a
Come on, we
five out
know.
of five. The Impact Josh Alexander 4, just because of the interruption. Just because of the interruption. But it was a great interruption. Like not that it was a great interruption. Not like that DDP came in and gave him a diamond cutter.
Well, they'll fight again. Josh Alexander and Jacob Fatu will end up fighting
Oh
again for
yeah.
the world title. Like I want to see that again, and I want to see it uninterrupted. Jacob Fatu is great. Like he's not there yet. He's not gonna beat Josh Alexander yet, but it's gonna happen eventually.
You give those two matches.
The AAA showcase, I'll give it an 8. Like it was fast paced. It was everything that AAA prides itself on being, and it was safe.
Yes.
It was safe, Tony Khan.
They did they did a bunch of crazy shit and it was no one got hurt.
It was safe, Tony Khan. Look at this. Ray Phoenix did all of this stuff, and he didn't wind up breaking his arm in a bad spot with a table guy.
Oh boy. And then Jer-
Josh Alexander and Jacob Fatu, I'm gonna continuously give that match a 9 because like I could watch those two fight all day.
Moving on, we go backstage where we see an interviewista go into the back and was trying to interview Jeff Jarrett, but then as the door opens, we have Jerry Jarrett, and then as he comes in, you have Jerry Lawler interrupt and say, "No, you can't talk to Jeff Jarrett, but you can talk to Jerry Lawler." While Jeff Jarrett's in the back, and you just have them in Jeff Jarrett's locker room, Lawler advised Jeff to humiliate Flair and do the strut while Flair is flat on his back. Ian Riccaboni was back on commentary once again. Your favorite? No, I'm playing. After this,
This this was my second favorite of the two tag team matches of the night, but again, it was so good.
yes, it fucking was great. The Briscoes versus the Von Erichs. Holy shit, that shit was great. I give this. I'm gonna just rate the match from now. From views from Bill's point, his rating, I'll give it a good 9. I liked it. From my rating, I'll give it a 4.5.
See that? Sponge gave it a 9 out of 5. This is how much he needs to see great tag team wrestling. Tony Khan, cough.
Well, when they went for the redneck boogie teamwork finish, Marshall pulled Jay out of the ring. That cleared space for the Von Erich teamwork claw, slam on Mark. Jay made the save on the pin. Briscoes took charge again for a neck breaker and froggy bow combo for the victory. On Ross for the victory. I mean, I didn't know who was gonna win. I didn't know what to expect, but it was a fucking great match.
You should have known from the beginning who was going to win. The Briscoes are just too much for the Von Erichs. Like the Von Erichs held in there for they held in there for really quite a while. But look at the matches that the Briscoes had with FTR recently.
They were
Like
fucking glorious.
The Briscoes barely lost to FTR. There was no way they were losing to the Von Erichs here. Like no, and that's not doing any disservice to the Von Erichs because the Von Erichs come from a great lineage. They come from a great wrestling family. I cannot wait to see them on a main scene somewhere soon.
Not AEW, please.
You know what? I would love to see them in Ring of Honor.
Goodly booked in Ring of Honor. Yes.
Yeah, well, goodly, really.
Tony
Easy
Khan.
there, Sponge. Easy there, Sponge. Hashtag 45. Goodly is not a word.
It doesn't matter. But Tony
And
Khan
neither
runs that
and
business.
neither is Bigly, Spongy number 45.
I didn't say bigly. I said goodly. That's a word I created today. I'm making history. Moving forward, I didn't watch this match because I tuned in a little bit, but not really. I was doing something. Impact
I still
knockout.
wasn't home. I still wasn't home, so I didn't see any of this. But when I watched all the highlights, this was this was a really good match. It was my least favorite match of the night, but it was still really good.
Rachel Ellering did get injured with an ankle injury within the first minute. You know what, Keith? Notice something? I sound more enthusiastic for this episode than I did for the SummerSlam one.
Yeah, because this was absolutely great.
It had me on my feet.
Because you're seeing old school, classic, great traditional wrestling.
And you know
You're not
what?
seeing any of the sports entertainment bullshit that WWE and or AEW are trying to pull off. Because AEW, as much as they make fun of the whole sports entertainment shit, that's all they are.
That
All
sports
that flippy
entertainment
shit
shit.
is not pro wrestling. All that flippy shit is sports entertainment.
And going back, Keith, I in the stupid wrestling Discord server, I no, not stupid. I don't want to get banned. In the wrestling internet Discord server, I put because no one was talking about this pay per view. I was like, why is no one talking about this pay per view? And I put like, is nobody watching Ric Flair's last match pay per view? It has some badass matches, and someone replied to me and said SummerSlam was way better over this old people show. I was like,
And
what?
and look at how many old people actually fought.
Fuck. Two?
One, one up until what we're as of what we're reporting on right now. One, and it was Ricky Morton.
Yeah, Ricky Morton, and then we're not even
That
there
was
to the
it.
final. Yeah. Old people show. What? How?
I mean, maybe the Bunkhouse Battle Royal. Bully Ray is older. James Storm
No,
is
but you
older.
can't call it old people show. It's like a collab.
Of
Like
course you can't.
because
It's the future.
Yes,
It's the future of pro wrestling.
yes.
It's legacy.
It's not old. This is what, like, they know what they're doing. They may be old, they may be, aged, but they're fucking better than the current fucking wrestlers. I'm not saying Ric Flair is, because, but you know what I'm trying to say, right?
Yeah.
And then we have, now back to the Impact Knockouts Championship match. I did not watch it, barely watched it.
It it could have been so much better if Rachel Ellering didn't get injured immediately.
Whew.
Because like these accidents happen when you go for a takedown like that. Sometimes you will hook somebody's knee the wrong way. We all heard CM Punk talking about it when John Cena tried to lock him up in the Moodle lock. He tried to roll out of it instead, and it wound up twisting his knee. Like these things happen. I'm sure Impact Wrestling's not too happy with the fact that Rachel Ellering is injured, but she'll be all right. She'll recover. She'll be back. She'll be right back in the title picture. And I'm sure she's going to be like, "You hurt me. I'm going to hurt you now."
Sounds
This is
great.
how you settle differences in a ring.
And I can't rate this match because I didn't see it, but what is your rating for this match?
I give it a 7. It was not bad. It was my least favorite of the night. I mean, mostly because of the injury to Rachel Ellering. It took away one of the attractions from the match, but it was still a well fought match. So I'm good.
And still better than the Cucamonga Kids matches, right?
Ugh.
Alright. Now, up next, Undertaker and Michelle McCool join Mick Foley to watch the main event. And Bret Hart.
It
Uh,
was so great to see everybody that came out to support Ric Flair for
it
that.
was cool. And then you had DDP behind Undertaker's wife, and he continues to stalk the Undertaker's wife 20 years later. Whew. Welp. Bum bum. If we had a sound effect thing, it would be playing the drums. It is, ladies and gentlemen,
Bum 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 bum
the main
bum.
event. The match we're only that we've been here. Well, not really, because there's a lot of. I'm not gonna say the match we're only.
Everything was great.
Yeah,
Like everything was great. I
everything
like,
was great.
and this was no different.
Yeah, Ric Flair. Okay, it's his. You expect he's 70 something. This is how exactly how you imagine and expect a 75-year-old man to wrestle, or 70 whatever he is. That's exactly how you expect an old ass man to wrestle. You don't expect him to be fucking top of the notch, fucking speed. That's exactly how I would imagine an old ass man to get in the ring and wrestle. I mean, the match was decent. It wasn't, Ric Flair got some good edge chops and shit in the beginning, but during the forward in, he was like dead after the match. After he did that spot with the heel, Jeff Jarrett was a badass heel in this entire match. Let me just say that.
This is why I said the other day, if you're gonna go over the all-time heel Mount Rushmore in WWE history, The Miz is up there. Jeff Jarrett is definitely up there.
Jeff
Like
Jarrett was fucking great. Did you see what he did to the fan?
just fucking red hot heel. That's Jarrett's whole persona in a nutshell. It was so great.
It was fucking great. He got argued with fans. He threw shit at the fans. He poured fucking drink on the fan. He was like, his entrance was over, like, is extended because of that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Fucking Andrade and Jay Lethal did great work. Fucking, like, geez. Then they did that spot with Jeff Jarrett's wife, Karen. They nailed him in the head. And then he went to go blade, and then he was
Yeah.
bleeding. He was bleeding. He had him there, and then who was that? Conrad's wife that like smacked Karen or some shit, or Jeff Jarrett too?
Yeah. It was yeah, I think it was Conrad's wife, yeah.
Conrad's wife that got involved as well. And then what the fuck was it called? Jarrett bloodied Flair in the middle of the match for the climax. There was a ref bump, and then a guitar shot. He was gonna hit Flair, but then Andrade. What was it? Andrade pulled Flair out of the way and then hit hit Lethal. Am I correct?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then Fucking Lethal accident. He like to what got the ref out was Lethal super kicked the ref. Andrade super kicked Jarrett. Conrad Thompson threw brass knuckles into the ring to Andrade. He tried putting him into Flair, and then they fell out of his hand. I don't know if you saw that. And then he put him
I
back
did.
in. And then Flair punched fucking Jarrett, punched the air with the force, with the knuckles. Dave Miller ran in as a backup referee. Then we see Ric Flair put him in the figure four lock. Jarrett, who was out cold since Jarrett's shoulders were on the mat, the ref counted three, awarding the victory to Ric Flair and Andrade. And then you have confetti. He's dead. The old man is dead. He's and Macari was crying. But fucking Andrade was helping him up, and then he slides out.
It was a great ending. And to all of our listeners out there, Sponge had to ask me why the referee counted to three
No, I was
during a
confused.
submission
I was
hold.
confused. That was the first time I ever. That was the first time I ever seen that. I was like,
When you lock in a submission hold and your opponent is on his back, if his shoulders go down to the mat, the ref starts counting. It's still your job to kick out without tapping out.
and then Flair goes down out the ring slowly. He's bleeding out. There's confetti stuck in his face because of the blood. He
I
goes
mean,
and
he's in his 70s. He shouldn't be bleeding to begin with, but it's Jarrett. It's Flair. So it's like he's gonna do what he's gonna do. Like it's Flair.
he goes down to the Undertaker. He shakes hand. He hugs Bray. He shakes hand with Mick Foley.
I loved that spot in the middle of the match where he had Lethal in the corner lined up for some chops, and he goes, "This one's for the Undertaker," and then just chop the hell out of fucking Jay Lethal.
Shit was fucking hilarious.
It was so great. I love fucking Ric Flair. He's so great.
And then Shivani's out there with a microphone asking him something. I forgot what he said specifically, but he's in tears. This match is his
Everybody was
last.
everybody was in tears. This is Flair's literal goodbye. Like you can't
The whole the
once
whole
you
the whole
once you say
rosters
goodbye like this, that's it. Like you're not really coming back.
and whoever produced this production team left their microphone on, and if you heard in the pay-per-view, you could hear the producer saying, "Everyone, crowd Rick," in the microphone. It was hilarious. And then you see everyone crowd Rick, every wrestler that was in the show behind Rick. Flair thanked the fans for the support, and then on the mic, and then he goes down and says he's going downtown to party with Kid Rock, and that is how the last words of Ric Flair for this pay-per-view. As he walks up the aisle, he grabs the original big gold belt that Keith owns, not that version, but
The WCW World Title Belt.
yep, that the brown belted version, leather version.
They're so great.
Held it up one last time up, and then that's how it ended.
We all know what I'm gonna do here.
That match. Oh wait, are you gonna do what I think you're gonna do?
This pay-per-view, it's a 9.5 from me.
I'm gonna go under
Pay-per-view was so much better in every way than
than
SummerSlam
SummerSlam.
was.
Yes, and I'll give it a 9.5 too. Out of your rating system out of 10, I'm gonna give it a 9.5. Way better than fucking SummerSlam. Listen to me right now. It's fucking 11 o'clock, and we were reviewing the exact same not the same pay-per-view, SummerSlam at the exact same time, and I'm more energetic for this pay-per-view than I was for SummerSlam.
Yeah, like you hear the difference. Like
If
you
you
can hear the difference in the enthusiasm of wrestling fans. Like we were talking about SummerSlam the other night, and we were just so dead. We were so lethargic about it. Like it was what it was. But like you hear how invigorated we are
and
after
watch,
talking about this because this was so great.
this is what great wrestling is,
I told you.
and you were
I
not
told
wrong when
you.
you
I
told
said.
me.
I said if you want to see glory, just absolute pure joy in an actual tag team wrestling match, watch the Motor City Machine Guns and the Wolves. Watch the Von Erichs and the Briscoes. These are the tag teams that need to be dominating every corner of the planet. FTR, the Briscoes, the Wolves, the Motor City Machine Guns, the Von Erichs, the fucking even the New Day. Like I'm good with the New Day because they use classic tag team wrestling.
Welp.
Like there's not many WWE and AEW tag teams that I would actually say are great. Like Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows. Those guys have been a tag team forever.
Welp. This was fucking beautiful.
Absolutely gorgeous. Like absolutely gorgeous. I would
And
take this home and introduce it to my parents before I married it.
and we still have Raw to review for you guys. And we're probably gonna be fucking, I don't know.
We're
Not
still going to be amped about this pay-per-view while we're recording the Raw reaction
Yeah, we're probably gonna compare
because
it. We're kind of like, jeez, the
the
energy.
because that the tonight's episode of Raw that just aired, the post SummerSlam first Raw after SummerSlam, that shit was great. So stay tuned.
Well, any goodbyes before we goodbye for this tonight? For this episode 6 or this episode 6?
It's not.
6 or 7? I'm not trying to mess up here. We got this is episode 6. Yeah, this is indeed episode 6. Thank you guys for watching. Keith, any remarks before you go away? Before we go away for this match. For this pay-per-view. For this pay-per-view review.
Nah, man, I'm good. I said every possible thing that I could possibly say, and it was so much better than I even said it was.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed our talks. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and share for more podcasts. This is Wrestle Relaunch signing off. Peace.